What's up, Dice Crew? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now we got another reaction video we finna go through. We got Paul P from over there at the Nothing to Something podcast, and he pretty much going off on Nina Boy. Now, you know, it's been a situation between Nina Boy and Paul P ever since Paul P paid Nina Boy to come do an interview, and at the end of the day, Paul P chose to not put the video out there due to his loyalty to Cowboy. You know, Cowboy pretty much being like a reoccurring guest over there at Nothing to Something podcast. So that's the choice that Paul P made. But it been going back and forth, and what we got going on right now is the latest, you know, Paul P going off. So I'm gonna keep it a Benji for y'all doing my reaction. Y'all keep it a Benji for me in the comments. Shout out to the Dice Crew and shout out to the sponsors. I'm gonna have the Instagram in the description to where y'all can go check out everything that they got going on. They got the exotic Frenchies and the exotic bullies. Let's go. Shout out to the Dice Crew.
So I want to say something, man. First and foremost, I'm going to explain this. When it comes down to Nina Boy, who's speaking on my name, or Nina Turtle, whatever you want to call, you know, if people, hey, go get the merch. Merch going to be out soon. You know what I'm saying? Check out the merch. Merch will be out soon on the Nothing to Something platform. You will be able to get the merch. So let's go over something. First and foremost.
Quick question, Dice Crew. Y'all let me know, can you just like take a picture of somebody and put it on some merch and sell it legally?
I'm not going to ever allow anybody to smear or put my name out there in a negative way without me ever not saying nothing. You telling me to talk with my chest where my chest is out. In fact, your name is on my chest, brother. I'm going to definitely speak with my chest. The reason why we're at this place is because of you. Remember that. Remember that, you know? I always say, leave me alone. When it comes to Paul P, leave me alone, let me be. I just want to create a podcast. I want to be able to uplift people. I want to be able to show people business. I want to be able to do some explosive interviews. Leave me alone. I'm not bothering nobody. Everybody make business decisions, right? Oh, well, we're grown men. Move on with it. Leave it alone. But the brother didn't want to do that. He wanted to do a part 2 diss at me. He wanted to do a part 3 diss at me. After he did part 1, he didn't want to leave it alone. He wanted to keep getting at your boy. And for what? He's hurt. He's crushed in spirit. Hurt. First and foremost, I want to let everybody know something, because I'm going to have fun with this. And after today, I'm going to leave it alone. We got other topics to go to, so we ain't about to stay on this all day. But I want to let everybody know, because that's where I always go with it. There's no beef. I will never, ever beef with a black man. Period. I defend myself, and I have to defend myself today. Am I saying something wrong so far, bro?
Nah, saying nothing wrong, Brody.
I'm not saying nothing wrong. Okay.
Nah, nothing wrong.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because today I'm going to put this to bed. If the dude want to go again and again and again after that, that's up to him. I'm gonna let you know today, I'm gonna give it to you because you gave it to me 2-3 times, and I only said one thing, and I responded to what you asked me. You asked me something, and I responded to it. That was it. It could have stayed at that, or you could have said, okay, I still don't feel it, but hey, it is what it is. You responded. That's all I did. But no, he did a part 2 and a part 3. He didn't want to stop.
He didn't want to stop.
And I could respond whenever I want to respond, right? Because when somebody responds, you do what you do when you do it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta address this, and I want to say this before we go into, because I'm gonna play a little bit of his video. We're not gonna play the whole video. I want to respond to a certain section in his video, which is the beginning, where the dude broke down a video that I did with sitting down with Cowboy, where I was bringing up the situation on why I didn't post the interview and telling Cowboy, because I'm just being a loyal person on the other end. This is my podcast. Yeah, I'm the leader, but you got to know how to be a leader. You got to know how to build a team. You got to know how to be a leader and play your role on the team. So what I was doing was being a man and letting another man know, hey, I know you're part of the team, so when it comes down to it, we should always sit at the table together and go over business decisions when it comes.
And you know, a lot of people got it confused on between a leader and a dictator. You know, a dictator is a person that really don't hear nobody else out. Their opinions don't really even matter at the end of the day. But a leader is somebody who definitely thinks on what's best for the team. And that's the difference. You know, people think just because you're a leader that you just carry on and make every choice you want to choose to make without consulting with people that is going to affect. And that's just not that. It's the difference between a leader and a dictator. And people got to learn that.
Down to this podcast. The last decision get made by me, of course. But I'm going to always do that when it comes down to it. When it comes down to anything we do here, don't always talk about it with you, bro. Hey, bro.
We talk about it together.
That's just what you do. That's
what we do.
That don't have nothing to do with, hey, how's this person telling you what to do? Nobody telling nobody what to do. Mm-hmm. That's how you run a business, man. That's how you let your team know that, hey, we're all in this together. But so I'm going to break down that part, you know, when he played that, because I got to respond to some of that stuff, right? But I want to say this, too. And this is to all the individuals out there who came from where we come from, right? But they wasn't in the world when it come down to gangbanging and everything, but come up in that world. You feel me? But because of some, and I gotta say it, some blessed reason, because nobody that's in the gang is gonna sit there that is smart, gonna sit there and say, hey, yes, since a kid, that's what I wanted to do. And still today, that's what I wanted to do, and I still want to do that. Nobody's going to sit there and say that have smarts. You've been through it, you've been there, but you want to get away, you want to get out. So when it come down to it, we were blessed. Even though we come up in that world, we were blessed to be able to deal with it differently, even though we still was around it, right? So I'm going to say this first and foremost. Yes, I don't bang. I'm going to say that left, right, up, and down. Yes, I come from the same hood all these individuals come from, though. Yes, I don't have a gang rep. But I think people got this square stuff really mixed up and messed up. Individuals got to understand, you just not going to get away with calling individuals squares. And punks and all of these other type of words that y'all like to use sometimes for individuals who are not in the game. That ain't going to pop with me.
Now, let me chime in on that a little bit, right? Like, especially for the youth at the end of the day, you know, grown-ups, everybody kind of got their own choices. They already been, got their minds made up. Maybe they can take some advice from what I'm kicking or maybe not. But definitely for the youth, right? You do not have to be from a gang to be a dangerous individual, to be a tough guy, to be a badass, to be whatever type of, certain type of label you feel like you might have to be. You can handle your own business. You can be a gangster without being from a gang. It's so much stuff you can do. You just got to be a man that carry yourself with integrity and not be a pushover. You feel me? And always make the best choices because you got to be smart. Now, on the other hand, you can be all of that and not be from a gang. But it's certain stuff that come with the gang culture that you just not going to be privy in, and you're not going to always have to go through those same trials and tribulations. Like say you might have 10 fights in a month and you're not a gangbanger behind whatever the cases may be, whether people trying to make you be from a gang or people preying on you because you're not from a gang. On the other hand, if you are from a gang, those 10 fights might actually roll over into being like 20 because you got like more mandatories that's going on. You know what I mean? When you got enemies, ops, whatever, how you might word it, you got mandatory issues that you got to duck. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying duck like be scary, but I'm saying you got to be able to be avoid. You got to always keep your head on the swivel when it comes to the police. You got to be trying to worry about how to be prepared for your ops. They always getting at you too. So it's like a constant war. Especially depends on where you live or how much involvement you choose to, keep yourself in. If you even got a choice. Some people don't have a choice. They got to, wake up and deal with it every day. And on both hands, as being from a gang, that don't make you tough or make you a gangster or make you a badass or even a stand-up individual. It is a lot of weak, soft, uneducated, just a whole lot of lames, liars, snitches, that's a part of gangs. Also the same for those that's not a part of the gang. But it's some small similarities that is different from people. But when it comes to being in the streets, if you just participate in majority of the same things, you got to know the difference from a person actually being called a punk or a square, you know? And I'm not using this to just be picking sides between Paul P or Nina Boy. I'm just basing a general statements in my input based upon the topic at hand.
Because at the end of the day, I say thank God I come up around a lot of OG uncles in Compton and Watts who said, hey, we our own gang. Yeah, they coming to recruit you. Hey, we together. So we had to take those fights. We had to fight as a family. And people gave us respect. One day I want to bring some of the fam so people understand when it come down to our family, it was a lot of us. My grandparents had 19 kids, over 100 of us cousins. We had many fights, many situations to where it was us against all of them. So to sit here and say I'm some square or some weenie or some punk because...
And I also want to add this on. The streets, you know, depends on where you live at. Gangs carry more of a importance, you know. Some places and regions it's just more about cliques and crews, or they banging on this side of town versus this side of town, or this street versus this street, this block versus this block. You know, you got stuff like that. But overall, the streets ain't just consist of a gang. You know, you got drug dealers, you know, you got pimps, you got robbers, you got, you know, people that you call flockers today. You know, you got scammers, you got finessers, you got outright thieves. You also got people that's running around being informants, dangerous rats. You got all of that. So I'm just saying the streets is a collective of all kind of people that will definitely, you know, can hurt somebody and be dangerous. Just because a person is a snitch or anything like that, that don't make them not dangerous as well. You feel me? So I'm just putting that out there as well.
I wasn't just me and my single mom and they was coming to the door telling me I got to be put on. I wasn't in that position where I had to go join the gang because I wasn't in that position. I'm a square now. Nigga, you got me messed up.
And you know, shout out to Paul P and everybody like him, man, who didn't feel the need and didn't have to be from a gang. You know, that speaks on a lot of value, you know? Like when we talking about the first early generations of individuals that was, you know, the founders of this stuff, they really just was doing what they was doing. Things is different when you on some laying the foundation and you on the new wave of things, you know? But as that keep trickling down and gang culture been getting older and older, you know, a lot of people really didn't have to participate in it. They just tried to participate in it because if they didn't participate in that, they was going to be a nobody. Probably wasn't going to get no girls. Probably was going to feel like an outcast. Didn't know how to really stand up on their own, you know, and stuff like that. But on the other side, you know, people find homes, families, true friends, real love, care, comfort, aid, help, however it may be by being a part of one of these gangs, you know? So shout out to those two that was able to find that and fill that void that they had. Maybe because a parent is not in the home. Maybe both parents ain't in the home. Maybe the home is just hectic, you know. Everything could be, you know, it could be bouncing off of a traumatized situation usually occurred in your life, whatever it may be. Because it's there for people, you know, it's there to need. I mean, for people to help people or to hurt people. That's just how the streets and how the gang culture go. But it's still a blessing, and we got to give families and parents all the flowers for having an environment, and we can't ridicule kids and stuff that didn't have to go through those type of situations to where they felt like they needed to fill a void. You know, that speaks in volumes, you know, just in anything, just especially for a nice household, a black household at that. Just, you know, if you could have a situation that strong, and it could be for any other race as well. But, you know, we got to give those flowers and definitely not try to ridicule at the end of the day. And I'm not saying that every other parent and stuff just was a failure in situations. Some people was kids themselves. Everybody live and learn. You know, some people learn faster. But regardless of the fact, I don't think that it's a situation that we should bash anybody on. Just like we shouldn't try to put down people who did need to be a part of the gang culture. You know, that done helped a lot of people to survive at the end of the day. It give people structure, balance, strong thinking, you know, strong minds to not be a suicidal person. To just, it's so many different things that come with the benefits of that.
Me messed up.
Did the slap.
You got me messed up. No, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm getting there. You got me messed up. You got me and every individual out there who come from that world, but you could never call them a punk. You could never call them a sissy. You could never call them a square. Individuals go down the line. Individuals like Q. Ice Cube wasn't from no gang. What, Ice Cube is a square? Tupac wasn't from no gang. Pac is a square. Dre wasn't from a gang. Dre's a square. Let's not go down the line and list of all these rappers. And not just rappers. Dudes who were official. Freeway Rick. Freeway Rick is a square.
Kendrick Lamar.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to go down the list? I got respect for everyone. Gangs, non-affiliates, right? But I'm just...
Now, also, let's break down that square word a little bit, right? Everybody got a different version of how they like to express it or the definition for it, right? But a square does not qualify for a person just because they not from the gang culture. A square is a person that's really just on a more straight and narrow path. You know, you really not knowledgeable about certain stuff that's going on, or maybe you still are, but you don't participate. You never had to even participate in a lot of situations that come with being considered hip situations, you know, underworld situations, you know, stuff that's shaking and rolling and stuff like that, you know, whatever, that's jumping. If you're not a part of stuff like that, then, you know, you can be a square. But still being a square don't make you a coward neither. And people have to understand that.
Man, you not finna sit out...
And then in the pimp world, you know, obviously a square is just a person that's kind of like, like kind of wifing the women up, as opposed of like, you know, breaking on the women. If you understand, then you understand.
There and call nobody square like you the only dude out there, and those are the only individuals who earn respect when it comes down to them being a man in regards to where they come from. That ain't gonna pop. So today I'm dead in that square word. If you call someone a square, you gotta prove you're square. I'm dead in it. And for now, every time I hear it, this is what you're gonna hear. It's for you, Nina boy. Because if you're gonna call me a square, you gotta prove it, brother. Period. Period, man. You know? And all I gotta say is this too. I know he was a fan. You know, we're about to get into the video, but I'm saying, I know he was a fan. You're a fan. And I get it. You could have expressed your feelings in a different way. Because I know you're a fan. But you could have just let me know you was a fan. You letting everybody know, yeah, I like Paul P. I like the podcast and everything like that. But, he's scared of Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? But he a square. Can't really say much of anything else about me because you got nothing on me. Anybody who know me from my past or now is just going to stand up for me and say, nah, Paul P, he's none of that what you saying. Trust me. I promise you.
And I don't know if Nina Boy is just looking for attention or just playing the whole content game. But if you get paid for a service and, you know, you pretty much like sign over your rights to something, that's what the whole deal is really about when it's come to this paying for a person to get on cameras and content and stuff like that, whatever it may be. And they choose not to scrap it or whatever they choose to do with it. You should just be happy that you already got your part of the deal fulfilled. You received your money. You got your payment. You got what you needed. You did everything you did. You know, you should really just be happy that a person did do good business on the end of that, on the business side of things. Then you kind of rolling over to more of the personal part of it, you know? Like, so what? Maybe you're looking for more exposure or something like that. You know, I don't know what it may be. But I feel like just take your win with the money and roll. It's kind of like Milk. You know, Milk was getting at Paul P the same way about what he was doing with his content. It's like, man, you got paid. That's one of the biggest things when you get an agreement, a business agreement, or agreement on contract, or agreement on your word, whatever's discussed, and you come to an agreement on, you gotta just accept it, cause you signing your part over. You let a person have the content. Now the ball is in their court, but you walked off with your bag.
That you don't get to where I got to coming from where I come from without having respect, without going through wars, without going through situations. You don't do that. It don't make any sense. You just don't. I'm not in the corporate world. Everything that I got, I've built it with ease, independently. You don't do that. You don't do shows.
And you know something I feel like I gotta speak on too, especially for the youth. But just cause you run around getting high, getting drunk, carrying your blunt, carrying your cigarette, Black and Mild, carrying your liquor, carrying your lean cup, whatever, popping your pills, that don't necessarily mean you hip. You know what I mean? Just no like disrespect, but junkies come in all shapes and sizes, skin tones, born anywhere and everywhere, different households, everything. So for some people that don't understand the difference, like, no, just because you walking around with your pants hanging off your behind, that don't mean you hip. You know what I mean? It just don't mean that.
Like the city, if you a square, you can't go and walk and talk with OGs to get passes in their hoods if you a square to film in their hood. You can't do that. Those type of things don't happen. So straight up, man, this is going to be one right here. When we get done with this is going to be one, I promise you.
And I feel like Paul P might need to lighten up on that too. Like, he seemed like he's taking that too serious about that square word, which if he don't, if he feel how he feel about the definition to him, then he's entitled to feel how he feel. But I think he kind of getting too upset about a person calling him square. Like, that's not too much of an insult. And I got to let people know that too. Like, that's not really that much of respect is respect. You can go anywhere around anybody because it ain't like every real stand-up individual from the gang culture is just preying on people, just preying on the weak. That ain't what it's about. Do you got people that's in the mix that do stuff like that? Yeah, but that's not what it's about. You could be a square, hip, whatever the two. If you carry yourself in the right way as a stand-up individual, you giving out respect, people gonna reciprocate. People don't mind doing anything with a person. Some people coming from the gang culture will actually be able to, love to deal with a square more than a person that's from the gang culture, because they feel like they can kind of trust them more. They have no bad blood between them on no aspect. So, respect is respect. It don't have to be about you being hip or being square. If a person respect your get down as a man, how you carry yourself, then hey, that's what it is.
That Nina Turtle regret. You're gonna regret the time that you decided to go back and forth with me because I leave everybody alone. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm the one who ended. Because I'm always gonna defend myself. I'm always gonna defend this platform, and I'm always gonna defend the ones around me. Because you can't make Paul P look bad. You definitely can't make me look bad when we in a big time studio that I paid for and built from scratch, and you talking to me from your mother's guest room with a bed in the middle of your room that's shown on your videos with Nipsey, shout out to Nip, with Nipsey posters on the wall and everything. There's no way that you could come and make me look bad when you filming in a 200.
I ain't gonna lie. Talking money and business like that, I guess Paul P might be on to something about the settings. But me personally, just on a viewer's tip, I do like Nina Boy's setup. You know what I mean? I think he got like 2 Nipsey pictures or Kobe in the Nipsey picture. I don't know why I can't really picture it right now. But, it seemed like he be having the right lighting. Seemed like he know how to it's like zero focus on him for the most part. But his setup is nice to me. You know what I mean? And but like I said, talking the whole business thing and the warehouse and the mama house stuff, well, Paul P might be on the right for, they conversation on that tip. But me on the viewer tip, I like Nina Boy setting for the most part. I be liking them low-key settings a little bit better than some of them more professional settings at times. I think even like over there at No Jumper, I think that's why like Adam, remember they kind of like removed that whole like school desk setup like and was just doing it with the lounge area. That was kind of cool too. But now I think they don't do it often unless it's like a panel or multiple people. But for the most part, like on the regular shows and the No Jumper shows and stuff like that, I think they back to using it like the school desk setup. Cause sometimes, you know, less is more.
Square foot room in your mama's house. You could never do that. You can't do that. It just don't even make sense. You're gonna come and make me look bad? I would have never posted a video like that. In fact, you look at his comments, they are all going off on him. All of them.
You fucked up. You know he done fucked up, don't you? You know he done fucked up, don't you?
Man. And not just that, he started talking about views, bro.
Yeah.
You go look at total views, right? Total numbers. And like I said, we only been up for 2 years. He been up for probably like 20. I don't know, like 20 years Nina Boy been up. I don't know. His total views is 9 million. Okay. Not bad. I give him like a little clap. 9 million. Nina Boy, if you check out our total views, our total views is 20 million in 2 years. 20 million. It is nothing that you could beat me in. And the dude also had the nerve to say he could get more girls than me. He looked back, Nina Boy. I dare you to ask your girl, who would she rather have out of you or me? I dare you to do that. I dare you. I will go on your playing field and beat you with that. I never bring nothing like that up, but you went there. Have you not? Look at you, bro. You think you're pulling more than me? Are you kidding me? Let's not embarrass. Like he gonna have me bring girls on the platform and go down the list. You know what I'm saying? I'll walk out the room while you ask the girls. Like, are you serious?
Nina Boy or Paul?
Like, are you serious? Where you go? For one, it's like I don't put myself against men. We don't do that.
Yeah.
But he did that.
Yeah, he sure did.
But it's like I'm like, are you serious? You think that these girls out here is gonna choose you over me?
And you know, I rock with some of the stuff that Nina Boy be saying. He's definitely entertaining too. However, I think he do be on some immature stuff too. Like that's definitely like some junior high school type talk. Like, you know, it ain't really about who getting more girls or whatever the case may be. Cause, you know, a reliable woman is better than a plethora of women. You get my drift, you know, and whatever a person's perspective choice is their choice. Whether they like to have multiple partners or they like to have one, everybody's entitled to that. That's especially when you become like really an adult. You know, some people do it in their younger ages too, but I'm just saying, especially on the adult tip. Like that's, and then even that conversation, if you was to even have that, you should just keep that amongst, you know, the quick little conversation amongst the crew, the fellas or whatever for the moment. But you should never like get on a platform and start trying to compare that like with another guy like that. It's just a strange situation.
Bro. Dude tripping. One more.
All you can do is laugh at that.
He
to be
tripping,
honest.
bro. He tripping. It's like, bro, you don't beat me in nothing. It's nothing you beat me in. It's nothing that he could say, I'm better than Paul P in this. You're not beating me in women. We already proved the podcast game. You're not beating me in that. I guarantee you ain't got more money than me. Guarantee it. Better than you in business? I guarantee we could put music song for song. My music is better than yours.
You know, one thing they probably gonna have to do then, maybe Nina Boy gonna have to call Paul P out for celebrity boxing. You know, maybe if, you know, get a W under his belt in that way.
You're not beating me in nothing. I dare you to find one thing you're better than me in and let the people decide. You started this. You the one who put yourself out there to do that first video going off on me, and I did nothing to you. So I'm going to end it. Straight up. After this, I'll leave it alone if you leave it alone. But I gotta make sure that I come and say what I gotta say. But like I said, you cannot beat me in nothing, not one thing you could name. Even height, bro. We did the show. You right here, bro. You ain't even taller than me. Only thing you may beat me in is you weigh more than me. Maybe that. Maybe that. I don't know. I'm just saying, but anything that is competitive, you will not beat me in it. Straight up. And I dare any of these dudes to talk about anything about boxing or anything. Look, don't do that. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't. I try to keep it PG when it comes down to this podcast. I try to stay focused on the business. I try to stay focused on the growth of the community. But remember, Nina Boy, you don't truly know who I am. So you gotta be careful when you say certain things because you don't know me, and it's okay, you don't know me. You know, when you say certain things like square and all of these other things, and Paul P. scared of Cowboy, you don't know me and Cowboy. You don't know our relationship. We have a great relationship and everything like that. So doing all of that, you sound kind of off, you know. But you know what we're gonna do now? Because we want to get to other topics. Let's go on and pull up the reaction video, and I'm only gonna react to the first. It's like 7-8 minutes of him going off of a video that he wanted to react to. Of me and Cowboy sitting down talking when I was bringing up to Cowboy like a real one in front of everybody. Hey, I did going on and I did do the interview with Nina Boy, and you know when it come down to it, now I understand the situation. I was basically explaining all of that, but we're gonna go in and play that. You got that, Big Don, to pull it up? And through it, and also too really quick, Big Don, through it, I may just say let's pause it here or pause it there. So if I say that, just punch me in. All right. Let's get to it.
Don't you ever in your fucking life act like the shit that you was saying was hilarious. You like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Catch this game, nigga. Like, I got some key points for you. I really got some news you can use. You see what I'm saying? Because, nigga, what you just did, I just watch you read scripture. I just watch you talk this peace shit and all this. But then you want to attack another man. You want to talk about, it ain't always, stop pulling the race card, bro. I noticed you pulled the race card, bro. Like, first of all, I'm going to keep it Fendi with you. Because if you notice, I ain't never gave nobody respect. You see what I'm saying? I went off of energy and vibe. I know that you're not like that. So I'm not going to take that with you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not no nigga that just be getting at niggas on some gangster shit. I'm not talking to a gangster. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking to a square. It's what you
Let's
are.
pause it really quick, Big John.
Square. You understand that? So I'm going to bust it down. You know what I'm saying? So you can pick this shit up though, nigga.
And that's too, man. When we pause it, make sure the camera's on me too, because I want to make sure people hear me loud and clear with anything that I'm saying right now. See, when it comes down to it, it's reasons on why we doing this today. It's reasons on why I'm responding to this video. To me, it's a lot of disrespectful words that he's using. Rather he know he doing it or not. When it comes down to it, you're not built like that, square, and all of these things. You don't even know me. Oh, wait. According to you, I'm not built like what? Because I'm not from a gang? You know nothing about my family history, or anything. But I'm not built like that. According to you, I'm a square. And you don't know me. See what I'm saying? When individuals in our community speak out loud and speak out of their mouth, but they know not what they say, that's a Bible verse too. You speaking and not know what you saying. You just talking. Square, not built like that. Or what did I do, or what have you seen from the couple of times you see me that show you that I'm built a certain type of way? The time that I seen you, you sucking up to me the whole time. Oh, Poppy, I love your podcast. Oh my God, man, I'm gonna bring a lot of people. It wasn't nothing that I could do to show you anything. You was letting me know how hard the podcast is and how much you love me. Am I making this up? But all of a sudden now I'm not built like this. I'm not built like that. I'm a square. This is what I'm saying. Individuals gotta watch when they talking about individuals and calling them names just because they're not from a gang. I got nothing but respect for gangs. All my closest homies were from gangs. But that don't mean that individuals could disrespect someone because, hey, by God's grace and the people that was around them, they came up in that world but didn't bang.
You know what, Dice Crew? For the most part, I think we got the whole, main core of what Paul P response and the Nina Boy stuff is all going, what it's about. But it seemed like Paul P video is going to be about an hour more. So, I feel like I done kept y'all attention enough. I think we about like 40 minutes in already. So shout out to the sponsors, Yard Down Bully. I'm gonna have the Instagram in the description. Y'all can go over there and check out, get y'all a exotic Frenchie, get y'all an exotic bully. Shout out to the Dice crew. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. I'm out.